Welcome to the Vibe Doctor channel. I need a reset. I need to recenter, and doing these readings always helps me, even if it's not about, even if I can't relate to the situation. It helps me so much just to be able to reconnect to that space where there is so much good advice and so much good energy that comes out of it. So I hope that you feel the same about these readings, and I hope you get the same thing out of them. So let's see what situation Spirit wishes to talk to us about today. We have a Six of Pentacles, which we know is all about, especially around money, equal in, equal out. That's part of our, we have foundation, we have balance, and we have honesty and respect. That's our three top qualifiers, or our three top ingredients that we need to move towards our happy life and create our happy life. And balance is super important. Then we have the Hermit in the reverse. All right, and then we have, give me one more card, Spirits, tell us. We have the Hangman in the upright. So the situation here is, with the Hermit in the reverse, it's saying there may be two things going on. You may be coming out of your own personal hermit mode, where you have been kind of hiding out in solitude, doing your inner work, or this could point to a little bit of a resistance about doing that work. It's always good it's a good thing to think about, but when it comes down to it, are you really willing to put in the time and energy that it takes to do it? Because it does take a lot of mental energy. You cannot be mentally lazy here and do your inner work. Then you have the Hangman. And, it kind of talks about just waiting. Like, you're kind of in a waiting mode, a waiting game to see what unfolds. But also, while in the waiting, it's very important to hold the proper focus and not to forget, not to get lost in the waiting, as in feeling like you're being held back, but look at it as an opportunity to really fine-tune your focus as to what path you are walking, what doors you are opening, and really feel like you already have it, and you're just in the fine-tuning process of it. So give and take needs to be looked at, and it looks like you are creating a balance, more of a balance within maybe your finances, or maybe even within your relationships, where you're monitoring that and saying, you know what, I'm the one that has to monitor the equal, energy exchange. I can't be pouring in all the energy and the other person not willing to give, or just not understanding the importance of it. Okay, so let's clarify the Six of Pentacles. What is this talking about? What is becoming more in balance here with this equal give and take? You have a Two of Swords in the reverse. Something around, you either made a tough decision, or the Two of Swords in the upright talks about you kind of know what to do, but you kind of feel stuck and unable to do it. Yeah, it's kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place. You're not really, kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. But this being paired up with the Six of Pentacles is that you're really exploring, even though this is a hard choice, there's not pros and cons, but there's cons to both decisions. Like, if you stay, there's things that you'll have to deal with. If you go, there's things you'll have to deal with. So it's kind of like, You may even be saying the words, I just feel stuck, I feel stuck, I feel stuck. You're actually not stuck. You do have a choice. But it just feels like neither choice feels like you're going to be able to avoid harder things or avoid discomfort or avoid pushing through what needs to be pushed through to get to the other side of this change. Change is not, change is abandoning the comfort for a minute or for maybe a long period of time to push through to the other side. So it looks like that's kind of what you're facing, but with the Six of Pentacles here, it's like I want to change. I want to embrace a reality that's more balanced and that's equal. I'm getting out the amount I'm investing in, whether that's into people, into work, into a job, whatever it is. All right, and then in the position of how you're feeling, you've got this Hermit in the reverse. And it can talk about feeling like forced isolation, like I'm not wanting to be lonely here. I'm not wanting to be alone, but because of this situation, it's not really giving me a choice. It's forced on you. And it's the, looking at the negative sides of being disconnected from others. So let's get clarification on, let me see you here in this. Wow. Yeah, I know this feels bad, but you just got the Mother Star in the position of a card that represents you right now. This does not feel, this change, you're going through a change. You're going through a shift. All right? And yes, it kind of feels lonely at the moment. But this is to provide you're correcting something here. You're correcting something that got out of balance. You were probably giving way more to it than it was giving to you. And this is your opportunity here to, even though it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel comfortable, it's forced loneliness, not liking it, there's a lot of parts of you that won't like this at all. However, I need you to understand that this is the Mother Star has come out as you, which means it's been a rough road, but because you're willing to do this hard choice, create this balance for yourself, you're about to reach your fullest potential. All right, and then we have the Hangman in the upright. So let's clarify the Hangman. What has Spirit got you trying to show you a higher perspective about? It's about a King of Wands. Oh, this could be a player in your life. This could be a masculine that, Mr. Romantic, and he played, and King of Wands is supposed to be a very good, creative force into the world and a leader among people, but him coming out here in clarification of the Hangman, two things. One is, I think that you're being shown how this was not a good situation for you, how this person has the potential to be a King of Wands in the upright, but they did not embrace that. I'm going to get some clarification on that a little bit, but the Hangman here for you is to say, let's step back. And the second part of that is, we want you to embody the King of Wands. We want you to now be this leader, this motivator, this someone who stands in their honor and their standards and their wisdom. We want you to embrace this energy of leadership. Let me get some clarification of tell me more about this King of Wands. What more did they need to know about the King of Wands? The Hierophant in the reverse. This was someone who may have acted like, they knew it all, or that they were the wise one, or they were the teacher, or they could have, had all these Yeah, they were not. They're in the reverse here. They did not know what they were talking about. They, were using their position of wise one, of teacher, of someone who, was the advice giver. They were using that, and really they were just the King of Wands came out in the upright, but this really feels like a reverse type of King of Wands. So you're seeing that. You're seeing that you made a choice or are in the middle of making a choice. Neither decision was good. It was like, wow, both of these decisions really stink. Like, neither one of these are going to make me feel good. Like, if I stay, I'm definitely not going to feel good because I just keep myself in this position that I know is not good for me. If I leave, then I have this forced isolation of being alone without this person who I kept just wanting to be different, and they could not be different, and I don't want to be. That's going to hurt too. Like, that's going to hurt my heart. But what's on the other side of that is you reaching your fullest potential. So doing the hard thing, making the hard choice, and having this isolation or being alone is what is leading to you reaching your fullest potential. So there's lots and lots of goodies. It doesn't feel good in the moment. It looks like both decisions suck. But taking that hard road of going it alone, when you didn't want to go it alone, you just wanted the other person to step up and actually be a King of Wands, and they just could not do it, would not do it, did not want to do it. So it left you with the hard, like you had to walk away. You had to go it alone. But this is you reaching your fullest potential because you did that. Yeah, and you probably got judged for it by them, by other people, and that's okay. That's all right. So tell me if you hold on to them. I don't know how you're feeling about it now as you're kind of focused on the negative aspect of being alone. So if you continue to focus on that aspect of it, tell me the potential outcome. If you continue to focus on that aspect of this situation, potential outcome, an 8 of Wands in the reverse. Looks like you kind of slow things down for yourself. A 4 of Pentacles. You kind of get a little clingy, maybe. Possible. Hold on a little tightly to old things. And a Page of Wands in the reverse also. Yeah, you kind of block yourself from seeing the good about it. You kind of hold on to those coulda, woulda, shouldas, the memories that shouldn't be like this, the feeling like you're in forced loneliness, and focusing on that is a very negative focus. That's not looking at, oh no, this is a path now. Yes, I'm walking it alone, but now I'm walking it freely, and I don't have this hanging around me, and I don't have this, just draining the life out of me, and now I can walk it in my own energy and in my own connection, and I can hear now. I can hear my own intuition instead of this stupid hierophant in the reverse whispering in my ear all the time, telling me what I should do and shouldn't do, and how I can do this and I can't do that. Like, you don't have that anymore. So that's the positive side of that. Like, you're free to hear your inner guidance now in a way that you could not hear it before when you had to walk this path with this King of Wands. Now you can hear you. Now you can connect. Now you've got space. Now you've got time to feel into things that are true for you and to refocus, to be in this hangman with a positive focus, with a higher perspective focus. But if you continue to have the negative commentary, to allow that negative commentary in your head of, oh, but now I don't have anybody to have fun with, or now I don't have anybody to think about or to love me, or now I don't have this old thing that was no good anyway. but it was what you had, and at least you weren't alone. If you continue to hold your focus there on those negative thoughts, this Page of Wands, you stifle your own. You could be excited here. You could embrace excitement about what's about to happen, but you kind of block that from yourself. And you block a really fast moving energy here with this Eight of Wands. And this Four of Pentacles means, you're capable of generating both negative and positive perspectives. You can see both. So I'm encouraging you to see the positive perspective here. And with this Page of Wands in the reverse, it's like, I think you can feel it. Even though you're kind of focused more on the loneliness, I think you can feel it coming. I think you can feel the stirring of something new and wonderful, but you're just not sure how to turn that into action, because kind of looking backwards here and looking at, well, now I've got to do this alone. All right, so if they change their mentality and they switch it to a positive focus and they hold on to that and they abandon all of that negative self-talk, you got a Four of Wands in the reverse with the Two of Cups that came out behind it, but I'm not taking that one. Just letting you know it came out with it. A Seven of Wands in the reverse. This is more things that you're going to need to reach this highest potential. These are things that are going to have to go, okay? Sometimes that comes out in this path. It shows us more clearly what other thoughts need to go. So Four of Wands is, normally talks about, it can be the marriage card. It can talk about union and a firm foundation. So this is coming out in the reverse. It can talk about, some communication problems can happen here. It may be a personal success. You may refocus on your personal success instead of a success with another person, because this is a personal success for you. Whatever this is that you're going through, this is a personal success. This isn't a, someone that you're connected with and succeeding with them. But this is not a failure. I need you to understand that even if a relationship has fallen apart because of what you're going through, or a connection or a marriage, this is not a failure. This is a personal success. And you have the Seven of Wands in the reverse. It can talk about vulnerability, seeing yourself as vulnerable. It can talk about, being overwhelmed with challenges or external pressures weighing you down. So I think that is all things that if you start holding the highest mentality, the highest vibration, that those things can then be a thing of the past. Like, you can leave that behind. You can see this as a personal success. You can see that you don't have to doubt yourself. So these things, it just feels like are coming up or will come up on your path, and they're just letting you know that you don't have to, even though you think you're doing this alone, because you've got this hermit thing. And with the Seven of Wands, it's like, feeling overwhelmed by all the responsibilities and the challenges, that if you hold that positive mentality of this is a personal success, yes, it is difficult, yes, it is challenging, yes, it is uncomfortable, yes, it is a big change for me. However, I know that through this, I reached my fullest potential. Yes, I'm going alone, but I have to do it alone because this is a personal success. And I don't have to be overwhelmed because I have Spirit here with the Hangman. Spirit is helping you. Spirit is helping you, is all in this to help you have this personal success for you, because at some point you decided the balance was off. This Six of Pentacles is telling it all. It's like, I want relationships that we're both putting in the energy, we're both putting in the time, we're both wanting this, we're both willing to do what we need to do to make this successful. And that's not what I had here. And I had to change that for myself because it was draining the life out of me. And I don't want that. And I decided, even though I didn't want to be alone, it was worth it. It was worth it. It was scary. But I did it, or I'm going to do it. And I'm going to have a personal success here. And then you have the Three of Wands in the reverse. And this is feelings of, frustration or stagnation, or that feeling of stuckness, or rejecting opportunities that were presented to you. I think by this coming out in path B, when you start holding your highest vibration and thinking about the positive aspects of this, and just holding on to the truth that you are doing this to reach your highest potential. All those feel like these are a lot of negative feelings here, like overwhelm, pressure, frustration, stagnation, feeling stuck, turning down opportunities. All of that becomes a thing of the past. All of that is shaken out. All of that comes up for clearing. A lot is going to come up for clearing. So it's a good thing you're kind of in hermit mode. It's a good thing that you've got time and space alone, because a lot of these things, because you are shifting, a lot of the old behaviors and old patterns have to be healed. All that old pain has to be dissolved and replaced with positivity. So a lot of your negative feelings are going to be dissolved and resolved through holding the highest vibration. And you'll become unstuck, unstagnant, and start accepting those opportunities that are being presented to you, instead of saying no to them, and feeling protected, and feeling like Spirit's got your back and other people have your back, and feeling like you can stand for yourself, you can stand up for yourself, you can speak for yourself, you can stand by your own values and your own self-respect, and you can celebrate those personal wins and personal successes, even if it means, tearing down some old thing that you had been in to get there. Oh my God, I gotta take a breath. Like, this is like, I can feel so much just tension in this reading. Like it's being forced through. Like the reading itself, even the energy of this reading itself is like having to push through a lot of resistance to get to you. There's a lot of pushback to you getting this information. And I think a lot of that is just kind of a little bit spiritual warfare stuff. Like, there's this King of Wands, I think, doesn't want you to know this stuff. That kind of wants to keep you in this frustration and rejecting opportunities and feeling unstable and unsupported, and like you can't stand up for what you believe or honor and respect yourself, and feeling held back and feeling unprotected, and kind of wants to keep you on this unstable ground. Because if you're in this unstable ground, you need them. And they love that. They love you to be in this vulnerable, oh, they love it. They love to see a vulnerable individual. It's because that makes them feel powerful, and it makes them feel less vulnerable themselves. Like if you're the more vulnerable one, if you're the weak one, they get to be the strong one. So they get their strength from seeing others feel weak and vulnerable and needy. So they want to, anyone in their life, when they start to, I think part of them might even want them to get better, but then when they start getting better and getting stronger, they push them back down to say, oh no, there's something else wrong. Yeah, there's other issues there. There's other issues you need to work on. And they won't let you. They start to become threatened by your growth. So you actually couldn't reach your fullest potential with this person connected to you, because that was a threat to their safety, their identity as being the strong one. It can't be two strong ones, because then that uncovers their own vulnerability. And they can't face that. And many narcissists can't face that. They can't face their own fears, so they have such a strong protective mechanism set in place that they can't even look at it. They can't even, there's such a strong denial there. There's just so much pushback. Like I'm to getting this information out of my mouth. Spirit, give me your final advice about this. Please give us your final advice about this. 10 of Wands. The Five of Cups came out behind it in the reverse. This is heavy burden. Like this is demanding. This is overload. This is hurting you. This energy, you're in a pressure cooker. That's how that feels. Like you're just being cooked in a pressure cooker. And I can feel it. I can feel it everywhere. And I can feel the resistance and the pushback. So, breaking free into so-called forced alone time, you need it because there's space there. You may be alone, but you've got space. You've got space to be out from under this pressure. I don't like this pressure cooker at all. For you, for me, for anybody. Give me the key here. Give us a spiritual key. I can't tell you the feeling that I have from this pressure. And we're going to do a little exercise. 8 of Cups in the reverse. So this is, 8 of Cups is all about shifting and changing. And there's a pushback to your shift and change that is so strong. But we are about to dissolve it together. We're about to push through this together. Because I can't handle this. I can't handle this pushback that you're getting. And a lot of it is, you may have even walked away from this person, but there is still so much energy from them wanting to hold you back and hold you in this old way of being. 8 of Cups talks about, you're starting to be able to hear your heart, but haven't quite taken the steps to walk away yet. So let's do something together here. So close your eyes. Oh my gosh, there's just so much pushback here. So what I want you to do is see yourself standing in a doorway. The door's open. The door's open to you. You've opened it because you were able to see what was going on here. But I want you to see this really powerful force of wind, and it's just pushing you back, and it's just blowing against you, and it's pushing so hard. What I want you to do is step out of the way. So you're standing in the doorway. All this pushback is coming at you. Push, push, push. And I want you to just step out of the way. Just step to the side. And just see all that energy, all that air, all of that force just blow right through that doorway, and you're watching it now. You're just watching it push, watching it blow, watching the force. And it has to move straight ahead. It cannot circle back around and find you. You're protected. You're stepped to the side. You are protected by divine energy. You're in this voided space where no type of pressure can touch you here. So it has to move straight ahead on the path that it was on. Like a freight train, it just has to keep moving on the track that it's on. And watch it go. And it may blow for a long time. I don't know how much energy is behind it, but watch it until you see the last little bit of it. And just breathe. And when it's gone, I want you to step back on the track that's behind you, step through the door. I want you to close that door behind you. Close the door behind you. That means the mental, spiritual attack type energy that's been pushing towards you has passed. Now you're back on your path. You're through the door that you've been trying to walk through to your fullest potential. You're on the track to your fullest potential. I want you to just close that door behind you. And I want you to lock it. Now that energy, even if it turns around on the track, coming back at you as pressure, as resistance, as pushback, as whatever it is, maybe this person's cut off for you and you can't hear their words anymore. You're not even, it's not words, it's just mental energy that they're sending to you. It can't get through that door. It's done. That's behind you. It has to die because it has nothing to push against. It has to die down now. And so you're free. There's an open path in front of you, and you're free. You're free to walk to your fullest potential. The only thing possibly standing in your way now is yourself. Sorry, my dryer decided to go on a spin cycle right now. Washer. So keep standing there and just feel the space around you. Feel what it feels like to just stand in your own energy without that resistance pushing back on you. And just let go for a minute. My goodness, that was a lot. Just stand there and let go. I hope this has helped you today. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.